Two of the major entities in Roblox doors are Figure and Seek. These creatures are practically the face of the game, as they are some of the most recognizable characters in the entirety of Roblox. However, isn't it strange how they have never interacted with each other? Despite both Figure and Seek being such major parts of doors, we have never seen the two in the same room together. Or have we? You see, contrary to what many players believe, Figure and Seek have interacted at least 3 times in the past, indirectly and directly, and that is exactly what I want to discuss today. In this video, I'll be going over every single time Figure and Seek have united together, as well as how these events will impact the game. So with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so as I had stated previously, there have only been 3 times these characters have been in the same room together, 2 of which being indirectly. Now, something really important you should understand for this video to make sense is how Seek works. You see, Seek in terms of lore is a singular entity, a giant hive mind that exists as a giant blob of black goop. This means every single instance of this goop, such as Damn Seek or the eyes found on the walls, are all a part of the same Seek entity, and they are all sentient. So, although the humanoid version of Seek we are typically used to seeing never directly interacts with Figure, the other versions of the entity, which are still the same Seek entity, have. The indirect first case of these 2 entities interacting is very minor, but it is still interesting. At the end of Floor 2, players will make their way to the castle entrance, before being attacked by both the Queen Grumble and Seek. However, a pile of festering meat, which is the signature sign that Figure is present or has been present in a given location, is also at the castle entrance. So although the Figure entity itself doesn't appear at the castle entrance alongside Seek and the Queen Grumble, he still indirectly existed at this location through the form of the festering meat pile, which is pretty cool. The second indirect case of these 2 entities being united is actually in the lobby. You see, in the lobby you can find a barricaded room, and after removing the barricades in Roblox Studio and adding a light source, it can be seen that both the festering meat and Seek's eyes, which are the Seek entity itself, are both present. The eyes are even on top of the meat itself. This means that both Figure and Seek had to be present in this room, and in a way they both still are, which is definitely interesting. Now, those were the indirect cases of the 2 entities colliding, but there's one direct instance where the physical versions of both Figure and Seek are present in the same room, and that is the electrical room. Now, as many of you know, the electrical room is the second location where Figure appears in the hotel, and they serve as a major threat in this area of the game. However, above the elevator in this room, players can find a bunch of Seek's eyes on the wall, which as I have stated are the Seek entity itself. So this means that for the first time, Figure and Seek are both physically present in the same room. So despite it not being obvious at first, Figure and Seek have interacted with each other a few times in the game, and although it's really cool to see 2 of the main characters of the game join together, what does this mean for the lore? Well, I believe that these interactions point towards one thing, that being that Figure and Seek will be getting a lot closer in Floor 3. So close in fact that I think Figure will be infected by Seek, much like how we see the Queen Grumble was at the end of Floor 2. You see, Seek is an all-observing, all-assimilating chaos, able to control anything it desires, and judging by how many times it has been present alongside Figure, it is no surprise that the entity is interested in them. After all, we know that Seek has had a long-standing rivalry with the Grumbles, given how they have been infecting many of the species' young, turning Giggles into Screeches, and by the end of Floor 2, Seek managed to get a hold and take control of the Queen Grumble. So, what is stopping them from taking control of Figure, arguably one of the most powerful entities in the whole game? As I had stated, it can't be a coincidence that both entities are in the same room together a handful of times. It could be possible that Seek is stalking out Figure, observing his power so he can eventually take hold of it. I think all of this is hinting towards both entities physically becoming one in Floor 3, and that would create a deadly combo. As you know, Figure is freakishly strong, however his one weakness is his blindness. However, if they were to merge with Seek, an entity covered in eyes, it's possible they could have the ability to effectively see, making them the most powerful threat in the whole game. I do think that at some point, possibly in Floor 3, Figure and Seek will become one, forming possibly one of the strongest bosses we'll ever have to face, and the instances of the 2 entities interacting seen throughout the game is merely just the start of this. After all, how cool would it be if both the most recognizable entities in the game become one? Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think of this situation, and with all of that being said, thank you all for watching and I hope you enjoy.